Uh, what's kind of most tricky is to estimate the market risk premium. So the idea is how much, on average, you expect the overall stock market to do better than the risk-free rate. There are multiple approaches. One is to use some type of historical average. For example, you can actually go ahead and get that data. So I'm going to use the same website anyway. Let me see, multipl.com. This is a website that basically gets most of their stuff from Robert Shiller's page. Let's see. You can get the historical prices and dividend yield. By month. But I'll get them from somewhere. Let's get the 10-year treasury rate. Unfortunately, there is no quick and dirty way of getting it. We can get it from somewhere else. I'm an idiot. If you go to Fred St. Louis, Fred is short for Federal Reserve Economic Data. It is maintained by St. Louis Fed. You can get a lot of time series from here. For example, 10 years Treasury rate. Okay, right here. This is quarterly. I want it a little bit better than that. Let's see. Frequencies. I actually want to get it weekly. Let's see. You can actually download this into an Excel file. Come on. And this data is available since pretty much 1962. But when you're using treasury rates for the purpose of long-term valuation, it's never a good idea to use just the last one because these things are kind of volatile. It may not be a bad idea to take some sort of average for example, average during the last 3 months. So that's about 444. Because you don't want your decision to change tomorrow just because Treasury yields shot up by quite a bit or went down quite a bit. It needs to be kind of a sustained increase or decrease. In terms of historical average of market risk premium, the easiest way would be to go to Ken French's website. You can get so-called Fama French 3 factors. Let's get the CSV. That's a zip file, but we can open it. Technically speaking, that market return minus risk-free refers to short-term T-bill rate. If you look at historically, that number is, let me see, 0.67% per month. Okay. That's a lot of money on an annualized basis. Alternatively, we could calculate the average market return. Oh, plus, I'm sorry. Historically, since 1927, stock market average about 11.85%. Okay? But do you really want to use all that data to have an estimate of what the market return is going to be in the future? Because the market in 1927, in its nature, is very different from the market now. A, there weren't that many companies. B, for example, shorting wasn't that easy. Market didn't have that much liquidity. Individual investors were not that involved. There were barely any mutual funds to speak of. There were no index funds, hedge funds. It's probably a good idea to use last few years, okay? Don't do 5, but probably do 10, 15. This is the annual one. If we did the last 10 years, for example, and I'm not gonna do it here, but what the hell is this? Oh, I calculated on the annual one. I'm sorry, just a second. I was wondering why that number was that high. Okay, the market average is monthly about 0.93%, but the last 10 years, oh, I was using page down, that's why. So the last 10 years, they also averaged about 1%, but T-bill rates also have been different in that time. So for example, market risk premium was 0.91%. that's about 11% annualized. That's another approach, okay? And B, which we're not gonna do here, develop a statistical model of market risk premium using macroeconomic variables. That is a lot more involved, and model itself is changing over time. The third approach is kind of a bootstrap approach. We're gonna start with something like a Shiller's PE. Let's start with Shiller's PE for the market. And we're going to have that for S&P 500 anyway. The way Shiller's PE, this is also known as CAPE, by the way, short for cyclically adjusted PE ratio. CAPE is equal to price now divided by, I'm going to call it E bar 10, where E bar 10 equals inflation adjusted earnings in today's dollars over the last 10 years. Okay. And we will combine this with a dividend growth model valuation. Basically, we will value, and I put value in quotes, S&P 500 index as present value of expected future earnings